Welcome to day 2 with CODEMAS, PiHut Advent calendar. During day 1 we downloaded and installed the software to make it all work, and that's called Tholi. We performed some introduction coding, and this was to turn the onboard LED on and off on the microcontroller. I wonder what day 2 will bring. Well, let's first of all get the microcontroller back out. Cable for the link between the laptop and the controller. I get into the USB port on my laptop. You could obviously use a desktop if you want, that's not a problem. So we've got the microcontroller here. Right, there's box number 2 for day 2. Let's put box 1 around. Just for box 1 back. So there's our microcontroller on the breadboard, and let's have a look at the second box. Right, as we can see from the components here, we're using 12 components for day 2. Some LEDs, red, amber and green, some resistors and jumper wires. So the first step, let's unpack them all, place them on the breadboard, connect them up so they make a circuit, then connect the board to the computer and start the interpreter, then write some code. Thankfully though, they supply some example code. First thing we do is create the circuit. I noticed that you've probably seen the picture of the diagram, but the trouble is, how do I know which is red, which is green and which is blue? Because they're all clear and see-through. As you can see from this, they're all clear and see-through. Never mind, we'll connect them up and away we go. I've connected the LEDs to the board, as you can see, using the shorter pin for the one side. The next stage is to connect the resistors, the 330 ohm resistors, to the board, which connects to the one particular leg of each of the LEDs. Right, we'll do that next. So the circuit diagram always looks much better than the actual board itself, as you can see. Always much better. It always seems a mess on the breadboard, but that's what they're for. They're to experiment. The final stage is to connect the cables up. As you can see, they're all the same length, not the nice short lengths that they show on the picture. Once you've connected up the circuit, it should look something like this. You may have some difficulty with breadboards. Sometimes they're difficult to place the cables in, sometimes they come back out. Make sure you've got, as far as you can, a good connection. I'm a little bit worried about the resistors. I'm not sure I've got the LEDs the right way around, but we'll find out now in a few minutes. So the next stage now is to light each LED using the actual software. So I'm going to have to push the LEDs down, otherwise I won't be able to get the USB cable onto the microcontroller board. So that's what it should look like. Let's hope yours is neater than mine. Right, I have the code and I have it all connected up, and USB is not a good place to put the LEDs, but there we go. That's the way they've done it. Right, we start the interpreter and we will now run some code. Now what I tend to do is take the code that they provide, click the copy button, and then place it onto the Thonny interpreter. And we should see, move you over slightly, there we go. Hopefully if I've connected it up correctly and everything's working, it should then work. So we'll type in run. I had some problems and I thought I had some issue with the actual microcontroller. So I decided to go back to day one and load the code up to that to get the LED on the board working, and that works. So my problem is actually with how I've constructed the circuit. So I have to go back to that and place the components back onto the board and see what happens. So I'll get back in a few minutes. Did anyone spot my schoolboy error? I actually had the microcontroller in the wrong way around, and that's why it wasn't working. I can understand now why having these under the LEDs underneath obviously would make sense. I didn't think the PiHut people would make such an error, but I did. So let's run the program then and see what happens. And the LEDs come on. There we go. This is the next program they recommend. Are you ready for this one? It flashes. Third program they provide. So that's day 2 complete. It's great to learn to code with the Raspberry Pi Pico and MicroPython. So we created our first circuit. We've learned how to use the time module, create some loops with conditions. We've learned about a variable called counter. We've put together something that looks quite good, really, and also discovered. And it says right at the end, so whatever you do, don't do it. Please do not disassemble the circuit because they could be using it tomorrow. So I hope that was entertaining, and see you tomorrow.